आनन्दलीलामयविग्रहाय हेमाभदिव्यैच्छविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So yesterday we were here that Krishna is the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is situated in his internal potency, which is known as Swarup Shakti or Atma Shakti, as described in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He expands himself in multiple forms, some of which are known as his personal forms, and some are his separated forms. Thus, he enjoys himself in all the spiritual planets as well as in the material universes. Krishna alone is the enjoyer, and everything else is Prakriti. Everything else, living, non living, everything is supposed to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord Krishna. And when the Supreme Lord enjoys us, that is when we automatically get bliss and pleasure. Because when Krishna is happy, when Krishna is pleased, automatically we are pleased, automatically we are satisfied. Other than that, in this material world, we may try to make ourselves happy by doing this, that, so many things. We may, just for some happiness, we may be doing so many things. Ki, after doing this, I will get so and so happiness. If my kids are happy, when I see my kids happy, then that gives me happiness. So we are trying so many things, but actually all this is just temporary, because Mahaprabhu gives this example. We read couple of days back in our previous chapters that the happiness in this material world is just like that momentary satisfaction, that when a thief or a criminal is arrested by the police, and then that criminal is taken for third degree torture. And what kind of torture? There is a drum full of water, and then the policeman, he holds the head of the criminal and dips the head inside the water, and the criminal is trying to gasp some air, trying to breathe. And so just in the last moment, when the criminal is about to not sustain anymore, that is when the policeman will again take the head out of water for some few seconds. And that time the criminal will and then again that head, again the policeman will put the head inside the water, and the same process will go on. So this material world is like that, and happiness in this material world is like those few moments when the head is taken out, just like those few moments. So so um okay, please give me one moment. Yes, is everyone able to see the screen again? You can just digitally show a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, this happiness in this material world is like that, just those few seconds. And for that flickering happiness, people who are who are ignorant of what is real happiness or how to really get real happiness. They are just searching for happiness in doing material activities, fruitive activities. And when they are not satisfied, when they are not getting happiness, then they are doing some ritualistic demigod worship, some this havan, that havan, or sometimes they go to astrologers and they say that you have this dosh, that dosh. So then they start doing Shani ki dasha, this Kal Sarpa Yoga, all those things. But actually, that is not the solution. The karma that is there, one has to suffer or enjoy the fruits of their own actions, no matter what they try to do. There is no relief from it. And as long as somebody is in this material world, the cycle of karma will go on. So the suffering will go on and on and on. And therefore, Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he is the most munificent avatar, the most munificent incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, does not reveal that he himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Uh, he is an acharya and he comes as a devotee of the Lord. He comes as the devotee, as a pure devotee of the Lord, showing that how when one takes up to the Krishna consciousness process, how they are relieved from all the pangs and sufferings of this material world, and they are in bliss even within this material world, even in the material body. They can feel bliss just by engaging themselves in the devotional service of Lord Krishna, just by coming under a bona fide spiritual master, under a bona fide parampara. And by doing so, gradually they become pure, completely purified, and at the time of death, Krishna personally comes and takes them back. So this is the purpose why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Actually, let me tell you, this is also not the actual purpose. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us something which is even more higher than this, and that is love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, which is only the wealth of the Vrajvasis, which is the wealth owned by only the most intimate associates of the Supreme Lord, Krishna Prem. And that is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. So he expands himself in multiple forms. Some are personal forms. Mahaprabhu is actually personal form of Krishna. Some are separated forms. Thus, Krishna enjoys himself in all the spiritual planets as well as in the material universes. So Krishna is the only enjoyer, and actually everyone else, whether somebody is a male body, is in a male body, in a female body, does not matter. Prakriti is meant to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. And when the Supreme Lord is pleased, automatically all the Jivatmas are pleased. Krishna's separated expanded forms are the living entities. That is us, all of us, all the living entities, all the humans, the insects, the plants, the flora, fauna, whatever we see, all the living entities. They are the separated expanded forms who are classified according to which of the Lord's energies they are under. So they are divided into two classes, eternally liberated and eternally conditioned. So there are two classes of the expansions of the Lord. There is eternally liberated, that means Nitya Siddha. They are constantly in association of the Supreme Lord, and they don't have any karma. They don't suffer due to karma. They don't have any karma. They don't perform any karma. All their activities are spiritual. They are constantly in, they are spiritual basically. Spiritual means what? That they are not contaminated by the material nature. They are not contaminated by the three modes of material nature. And eternally conditioned means like us. We are eternally conditioned. Eternally conditioned means we are conditioned, we are contaminated by the material nature, by the three modes of material nature. That is sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. Sometimes we are in sattvic mode, sometimes in rajasic, sometimes in tamasic. Therefore, we have different kinds of actions, activities, different kinds of thoughts. Our mind, our intelligence, sometimes they play havoc, and we start doing wrong things. So we are eternally conditioned. Conditioned means all the impressions that every time we take a birth, we make some impressions in our life. We are constantly doing some activities, and because of those activities, we are accumulating the fruits. Whatever actions we are doing, we are accumulating the fruits of those actions. Some fruits can be eaten immediately, like somebody throws a stone at the dog and the dog comes back and bites the person. This is immediate karma. They threw a stone towards the dog came and bit the person. Immediate karma, we can say. But there are some fruits of our actions which fructify at a later time. It could be in the same lifetime or it could be in another lifetime. Just like if we see Gandhari, uh, um, so when the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra were killed in the Kurukshetra war, Gandhari had the special blessing that she could see 50 lifetimes before and 50 lifetimes before of any person. And she saw that Dhritarashtra did not have any such bad karma in his 50 lifetimes before, like 50 lifetimes that Dhritarashtra had taken birth. So Gandhari asked Krishna that I saw that my husband, he has not done any such bad karma that he had to suffer like this. All his 100 sons died all at once in this Kurukshetra war. Why is it so, Krishna? So Krishna said that yes, Gandhari, it is true that you can see up to 50 lifetimes, but you cannot see beyond that. And this this incident happened 100 lifetimes before. Dhritarashtra, um, in his previously 100 lifetimes before, he had actually killed the 100. There was a nest. A bird had laid eggs, and there were 100 chicks, 100 birds, kids, little chicks. And Dhritarashtra had killed all these birds, all the chicks, 100. Now, since he was a hunter, or uh, whatever was the reason, I don't remember exactly whether he was a hunter or not, but he did not have sufficient pious uh, balance in his fortune that he could get his karma immediately, because he killed the 100 children of a bird. Now that's those atmas, those souls are in the body of the bird, but to get back the karma, Dhritarashtra needs to also have 100 children. But Dhritarashtra did not have that pious karma or the pious fortune which is required to acquire 100 sons. And therefore, he had to go through 100 lifetimes where he did lot of pious karma. He did lot of pious karma in his 100 lifetimes, and finally he became Dhritarashtra in this lifetime. And he had that fortune. Therefore, he had 100 sons, Yodha sons, very brave sons. And these 100 sons, finally, he got the karma back of killing those 100 chicks, those birds, 100 birds. So that is how karma works. It's very intricate and it is very complex. And with our limited intelligence, we will not be able to understand. Therefore, it is very much important that we completely take shelter and surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord Krishna, of Mahaprabhu. Now, eternally liberated living beings never come into contact with the material nature. They are eternally liberated. They are Nitya Siddha. They don't come in contact with material nature. And as we mentioned the other day, the Devatas, the demigods, they don't even come to this material world to pass stool, because it is such a dirty place. So, eternally liberated living entities, they never come in contact with the material nature. What does that mean? Then who are our acharyas? How is Mahaprabhu coming? How are the acharyas in our line of disciplic succession? Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, who are they? They don't come in contact with the material nature. They are not impacted by the material nature. They are always pure and spiritual by nature. They are personally sent by Krishna to this material nature in order to deliver people like you, me, all of us who are eternally conditioned and eternally suffering and were meant to suffer for millions of more lifetimes. But by their causeless mercy, now we have come to this point where we are able to listen to the instructions of Krishna, to the pastimes of Krishna, where we are ready to chant the names, the holy names of Krishna. This is the mercy of a bona fide spiritual master. This is the mercy of a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. Since the eternally liberated living entities, they never come in contact with material nature, therefore they do not have any experience of material life. These spiritual living entities, the liberated living entities, they never have to suffer material life. They don't have any experience of material life. They take sufferings upon themselves for delivering people like us. They are eternally engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service to the Lord, and they are counted among the associates of Lord Krishna. Their pleasure, associates means just like I have a family, my parents are there, family is there. So similarly, we have husband, wife, children, parents, brother, sister. This is our family. Similarly, Krishna has his own family, his friends, his relatives, everyone. They are the associates of Krishna, Krishna's family. So they are eternally Krishna's associates. Their pleasure, the only enjoyment of their life, is derived from rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, who the pure devotees, the eternally liberated entities. They get pleasure only, or their enjoyment of their life is only derived by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, Nishkapat. They are not thinking that I am doing this service, now I should get this in return. No, not like that. They are nishkapat. They are doing service to Krishna out of love and just to please Krishna. I want to please Krishna. Maybe that service may be giving pain to them. Just like when Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he is giving diksha to so many people and so many are unqualified. Unqualified in the sense, why? Because they are unable to keep their vows. They are not keeping their vows. And when a bona fide spiritual master agrees to take all the karma of his disciple. And knowingly, Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he knows everything. Who is going to do what in future? It is nothing is unknown to him. But yet, he just wants to deliver as many people as possible. Therefore, he is not leaving his body. He has decided that he is not going to leave his body because there are some instructions pending still. If we see that there is nothing left in his body, astrologers, doctors, big doctors, they are surprised. How is this person still living? Because he's not an ordinary person. He's living by his own will. He will leave his body at his own will. And he's just trying to deliver as many souls as possible by giving them diksha, by giving them initiation, so that such persons can go back to Krishna. Otherwise, people like me, we will never get a chance to go back to Krishna. We will never get a chance. Just for our just for our sake, they are taking all these karma and therefore they are suffering on the physical level. Actually, for them, there is no suffering because they never come in contact with the material nature. People like us, when we have a headache, we feel, oh, now today I can't do anything. Some fever is there, some cough, cold is there. Oh, I can't do this seva. It's not possible. Today I'm feeling very sick. That is our condition. But if we see the bona fide spiritual master, no matter what they are going through, they don't stop their services. They don't stop preaching. They don't stop speaking about Krishna to others. They are unstoppable. They are unstoppable because they don't come in contact with material nature. They are doing transcendental loving service to Krishna, that this is going to please Krishna. They are so much in love with Krishna. Krishna Prem. This is Krishna Prem. They are so much in love with Krishna that their own sufferings don't impact them. Is Krishna pleased? They are happy. They are satisfied. That is their pleasure. So we'll continue reading tomorrow. We'll pause here for today. Krishna willing, we'll read tomorrow again. Thank you so very much for your very, very kind association. Lakshita Mataji, Hari Bol. I'm so happy to see you and to have your Ma- most invaluable association. Thank you so very much. Yesterday I was remembering you also. I was telling
Actually, yesterday I just missed it somehow.
them.
And by the time I realized, I could have joined easily. Actually, yesterday was,
Oh, we missed
Sunday
you.
for me.
Uh, so
Hare
yesterday,
Krishna.
I was remembering Govind Dev Ji, Gopinath Ji, and I was telling because if you see Nandini Priya's picture, that is Vrinde Devi, and then I was remembering Vrinde Devi of Kamyavan and how Vrinde Devi has expanded to this Vigraha, and then I forgot which place, but there is Vrinda Kund here. So I was describing that pastime, and then I remembered you that how the deities were secretly moved out of Vrindavan and taken to Jaipur under Maharaja um,
Man
Mansingh.
Singh.
Mansingh, yes. I always get confused, Mansingh or Savai Singh. So under Maharaja Mansingh, and how these deities they have again personally manifested again in Vrindavan also. So that is, and hence I was remembering you that you are personally you have lived there, and your entire childhood, you have spent under the protection and the care of Govind Dev Ji. So how fortunate, how wonderful.
Thanks, thanks.
All right. So vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
क्षमा
हरि
करो ना हमारी
हरि
माता जी की
बोल।
जय, हरि बोल।